All right, what's up, internet? We should be live. Feed up. All right, what's up, internet? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Cryptowatch this fine night before another holiday. Oh, connection not so good. Let's see. So it's been a while since I streamed from my place. The connection is saying red. How's it with you guys over there? Hi. Up, Skyrath from YouTube. Abel from Facebook. What's up? Joshua from YouTube. Hi. Okay, so the connection's not so good. Hopefully it's not so buffery with you guys. Although there haven't been any drops. Well, okay, it's at there are some dropped frames, so not so good. As you know, if ever you watch Top Aldos, I wish we could. I wish we could have a camera of Aldo so he could show us like his rig right now. I'm super curious to see what it looks like now in its finished state. But thanks for joining us. Yeah, the my connection is not so good. I'm seeing a lot of dropped frames and things like that. Quite pixelated. Yeah, I think the services are compensating. Di ganun kaganda yung internet connection ko. Uh, to be fair, it's also because another member of our household is having online meetings at the same time as me right now. So, dalawa kami na nagbubugbog sa internet connection namin. So, that might explain the poor internet quality. But I hope you guys can at least hear me. At least it hasn't been cutting out. Before, when I used to stream from the house, it would be like very stutter. Like it would cut out and then it would come back on and things like that. But, well, the as long as the sound is going through okay, I guess we can continue with the stream. Just gotta roll with the punches, especially when you stream in our country. I am using a new headset now. I couldn't take it anymore. Usually kasi sa mga streams, ina-arbor ko lang yung headset, yung wireless headset ng kapatid ko. He uses the Corsair Void wireless. And I did have a bunch of nice headsets like the Asus ROG Go, but I had to give it back because it was only for review. But we did have the MH670 Cooler Master in the shop. So when I was the last there, I was like, to heck with it. I'm just gonna steal this from the shop. And so far it's been quite good actually. The sound quality is good. And so far I haven't missed any of the old headsets. I mean, I'm thinking of doing a review of this thing because I did open it up for from the shop. Hiro Alvarez from YouTube, what's up? Tyron, where is Anton? Anton is at home. So this is actually like this is my home office. And actually, because I wanted to show it to you guys also, I was gonna show it to you first. I don't know how well. So I want to set up like a home, like where we're gonna shoot in the at home because I like the new place a lot. We've just moved to a new place on Chino Roses from Giho, but it's a second floor unit and there are no windows, so there's no natural light. So I miss Giho for that. Na parang it mas maganda yung backdrop dun sa Giho eh. So I'm trying to set up my own like place to shoot here at the house and like basically the camera will be around here. So it's hard to the camera I'm currently using is kind of low definition and it's kind of blurry on the internet. I understand it's pixelated. But we do have some, but basically this is up to here is what you would see and then down here as well. So I've tried to make it interesting with some old phones and the salt lamp to give some light and like plants also for variety. We'll put something here. And so this is just like a lot of geekery. So you got Star Wars, the Lego TIE Interceptor, one of the very earliest Ultimate Collector Edition models, the TIE Interceptor. You have the Galactica from BSG, from the revamped BSG, not revamped, the reimagined BSG from around 2005 or so. And then you do have a Timberwolf from BattleTech, and you have BB-8 from Star Wars, and you have some adult stuff just because. So I just wanted the way I'm intending to shoot, it'll be kind of dark, but then I'll be here like in the foreground, and then of course the light because we do have I did have a studio light here. The studio light will be here, and there'll be some separation between me, the host, and like the background. So hopefully the background will be interesting, and to make up for the current space. Usually I used to shoot in the shop in Giho, but I wasn't finding it as interesting, the background in the new place. So I decided to try to come up with something here in the back on my own at my place. So later tonight, holiday naman bukas, I will do my first two videos with the backdrop in the back, and let's see how it goes. So Hero, is that an Aeron behind you? It is. This is a Herman Miller Aeron. More expensive than some computers, but I'm not bragging because this isn't mine. This is my wife's. Because my wife makes more money than me by a lot, and she can afford an Aeron chair. On the other hand, I am sitting on a hand-me-down desktop chair, also from my wife. You can see the pay disparity right there. She has a nice Herman Miller Aeron chair. There you go. There's the Aeron chair. Quite comfy actually. I mean, and I mean, it's not like my wife has banned me from using this, but usually when I'm at my computer, I just use this thing, the second-hand chair, which I got from her as well. But yes, it is an Aeron chair, but it's not my chair. And if you do follow our channel, you know that my brother Rafael does have his own Aeron chair, and he will be reviewing that sometime. And wait lang guys, I'll go through all of the chat and stuff, but I do need to play the ad. So stick around after the break.
Bibili ka ng PC, most likely kailangan ng Windows. Pero saan ka kukuha ng legit Windows? Daming options, daming prices. Baka nito.
Buti na lang, may cdkeyoffers.com.
Madali lang ang order.
Search for the software you need, add to cart, daan ka sa payment options nila.
Wala pang 5 minutes, finished! May legit working CDK ka na para sa Windows mo.
Gamitin lang aming code para makakuha pa ng discounts.
Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkeyoffers.com.
All right, back from the ad break, and just to go through some of the chat. Anastasio from YouTube, Sir Vlog ko sana ulit about to type ng mga PC customers. That is actually that's one of my favorite videos on our channel, yung types of PC users, especially yung type 3 ata yung pinaka-toxic na, he's just going online and he's trolling all of the builds he sees kasi lahat hindi up to his standards, lahat pangit, lahat may maling ginawa. And I really did have fun working on that. Although I don't know if I can do another one kasi naubos na acting ability ko dun sa video na yun. If you guys have seen it, it's like me acting out all the roles, and I'm a terrible actor, so naubos na lahat ng acting skills ko dun. But that was a really fun video to make. Mark Lewis, nice collection. Thanks so much. I'm into Lego and a lot of sci-fi stuff, so it's in the back. Hopefully you'll be seeing that more in the upcoming videos. Hopefully maganda yung labas ng parang background na yan. Eman from YouTube, good evening. Ants, oh yeah, you moved down. we if you've seen our other videos, I was streaming from my brother's place before, but we moved back to my place here. And it is extremely messy compared to like some of the other streaming backgrounds that you might have seen. But I'm actually quite digging. So when I moved back, I've been trying to make a conscious effort to make like a YouTube corner and things like that. So we did get the Amaran light. So we have a proper studio light now on my face. So it's not so like it's hard to. I mean, like when I look at the output, it's looking pretty good to be honest. But I understand it's quite pixelated now, and the internet connection is not so good, so it might not look so good. But actually, it's like the way. Oh, there's the dog in the background. Um, so actually, this backdrop looks quite good compared to some of the washed out things. Like if you look at previous streams that I did from my home office, this is not looking quite not too shabby. Monica, what's up? Good evening. Crimson, we will be talking about the crypto crash. Mine your GPU. Look at the RGB in the back. That is not complete actually. And I'm gonna move out of the way so you can see so there's a salt lamp there that's orange, and that's a grow light actually. That's why it's shedding so much light. And then the proper RGB is just on the tie interceptor over there. But these 5 squares, 6 squares will be the ones seen on camera when I use it as a backdrop. So I'm still missing 3 RGB kind of like lights or whatever. So work in progress, work in progress. But so far, not too bad. All right, so Nico, sana mag-review din ng Forza. I understand Rocky the Programmer is an avid player of that game. I have not played it myself, but usually it's Rafael who does the game review videos. We might get him hooked on that, so he can review it. So we'll just go to the news basically, and somebody was asking earlier in the chat kung bagsak nga ang crypto. It is true, bagsak na si crypto, and from a high of around 67,000 dollars per Bitcoin. Usually I just use Bitcoin as a marker for all of the prices for all of the other currencies. Usually kasi the way Bitcoin goes is how the market goes. Kung akyat si Bitcoin, madalas akyat na lahat and vice versa. Of course, there are always exceptions. And even now in this kind of very down market, there are exceptions. But generally, Bitcoin is the bellwether. It's the marker for everything else. Interestingly enough, last episode when I did this, episode 5 last November 19, Bitcoin was on the way up 62,000 or so. Then it hit its all-time high, I think 67, 68. And things were actually looking quite well early on in November. And then suddenly bagsak nga, and it's around 57.1 now. That's not the lowest. I understand. I was looking at it. I think it hit 55 a couple of days ago. Let me switch to the... Okay, so again, I use CoinCodex to track stuff, and this is Brave Browser, both of which I've talked about in other videos and streams. So, yeah, so Bitcoin was at 59 November 26, and it dropped to 54, sorry, November 27, 2 days ago. But yeah, it was looking quite good. Historically kasi people, based on past performance, Bitcoin rises in the last quarter of the year. So a lot of people were banking on that, but why is it down? And we'll get to that basically flows into the news that we have for the news part of our show. Just go back to my face. And well, it's a bunch of things. Not really anything to do with Bitcoin per se. It's mostly factors outside of Bitcoin. Number one is China. So around June or so, when was the last time China really made waves? Yeah, around June, I think, or something, China was like, we're really serious now. We're gonna crack down on crypto. So, and in fairness, when the Chinese say that they're serious, they really are serious. So all of the mining companies in China, everybody involved, the exchanges and things like that, they had to get out of China real quick. So it plunged. So the low episode 1, when we started doing Cryptowatch in June, Bitcoin was at 33.9, and episode 2 in July we were at 33.2. So it really went down when the Chinese said that they were banning crypto. They've always, China has always been like, we're gonna ban crypto. Then a couple of months later, they're like, okay, you can come back again. But now they seem serious, and the latest bit was that they actually jailed someone recently. A senior Chinese official in the province, I forget which province, was arrested because he basically defied the ban. And he was like, well, I don't think they're serious, or he decided to test his luck, but they are serious. And really, China has been on a roll. They've slapped down their tech companies, they've slapped down their crypto companies. Their gaming companies are also down. I mean, they've also been heavily regulated. So much so that I was reading a news article where China imposed a measure where minors can't play on weekends. Sorry, on weekdays. I think they can only play on weekends, and I think for a maximum of only 3 hours or something like that. So China very, very heavily restricted the gaming time of minors, and they take it very seriously. Kasi yung maiipit yung mga gaming companies like Tencent. If the gaming companies don't follow the law and don't police their platforms, they can face fines or even worse. So very recently there was a Chinese game, I forget the name of the game. Hindi siya ganun kasikat outside of China. But from what I read, it's basically like a League of Legends type of thing. So it's a MOBA basically. And somebody got a pentakill, which apparently no, it's very rare or no one has done that yet in that game. And when they traced it, it was like a 60-year-old guy at like 2 a.m. So people were speculating, the Chinese public was speculating na hindi talaga yun 60-year-old, but it was a minor who was playing after hours. And it that accusation or even just that rumor was so serious that the game company had to investigate and they had to say na no, it's legit. Like it was really like an insomniac 60-year-old guy na naka-pentakill. Just to show how serious the gaming companies take it kasi yari talaga sila if they don't follow the law and enforce the law. So there's been a whole cascade of new regulations in different industries. The Chinese party is really showing that, we're still top dog and you got to follow us. And one of the more recent things in relation to crypto was that an official in the province got caught defying the crypto ban. I'm not sure, to be honest. I can't recall if he was mining or if he was trading or running some kind of illicit crypto exchange or something. But he got caught. He got jailed. So it was just further emphasis of how serious China is, and this was sort of early on, and that caused the price to drop. The US hasn't helped also because they recently passed legislature regarding an infrastructure bill, and there was a rider in that bill, or a rider is something in the law that isn't really related to the law, but it becomes law because anything in that bill that's passed, regardless kung may sense ba or may relevance ba dun sa law, as long as napasok sa bill and it was passed, it becomes law as well. There's a rider regarding taxation of crypto, and that it might lead to taxation of crypto because it requires more disclosures from exchanges. So that had a chilling effect. Basically, I was talking to my brother actually, and it's interesting that when you trade stocks, even here sa atin, because Rafael is more of a stocks guy, I'm more of a crypto guy. Rafael was telling me that ang daming mga fees. So the exchange has a fee, the stock exchange has a fee, and then you have a final tax, of course, on capital gains of shares traded on the stock exchange. The tax rate is different whether it's traded on the stock exchange or not. But there's so many fees involved. Whereas if it's crypto, you only have one fee, the exchange fee. So you exchange. Let's say I want to sell Bitcoin. I'm at an exchange again. If what is my dog doing in the background? How did he even get here? The door behind me is closed. So that's Logan, the shop mascot. He has appeared also in several videos. Actually, here in this office, I reviewed the HTC Vive, and you can see him running around as well. He's actually quite smart because you'll notice again, yeah, that glass door is closed, but he made it through the front door, which you can see there, which I keep open for ventilation. Yeah, but Logan is old. Oh, he disappeared. I can't see him anywhere in the background. What a freaky dog. So anyway, that's a problem with streaming from home. I mean, a lot of people, yeah, it's also Ninja Dog, right? Okay, okay, he's here pala. Okay, he's lying down. He's like, he was there 1 minute, the next second he was gone. So I was talking with Rafael, my brother, and he was telling me a damning fees when you buy and sell stocks. As compared to crypto, the only fee you need to worry about is the exchange fee, and that's it. So I was really surprised, and that's another thing, another advantage of trading crypto. Although again, the U.S. has passed. There was a section of that infrastructure bill that requires more disclosures from exchanges. Well, only for U.S. citizens, but that's a big part of the market, especially now because a lot of the crypto miners have migrated to Texas, and Miami, I think, was trying to make a play for them as well. So a lot of the US actually has been a big winner in terms of the China crackdown. China crackdown, the miners are like, my business is profitable. I just need to move elsewhere. So they've moved to the States. They've moved to where power is cheap in some states. They've moved to Iceland, I think, where power is also cheap because they have all of that geothermal energy. And yes, and Hans mentioned the SEC versus Ripple. The US SEC has an ongoing investigation against Ripple XRP, the company that manages Ripple. Although it's been kind of interesting because when that first came out that Ripple was being investigated, to be honest, personally, my thought was na okay, Ripple's done. Prices are gonna drop, and they're not gonna recover. But I was wrong, as I often am with crypto. So for the 50 people watching, take anything I say with a grain of salt. I really thought that that might, lead to a long depression of prices for Ripple, but the opposite was true. When they were first being investigated, I think it was like 80 cents to the dollar. So $1 could get you 80. Sorry, one Ripple was worth 80 cents. Baliktad. One Ripple was worth 80 cents. And then at its peak, before, all of this kaguluhan, with other factors, not the investigation, it hit like 130. So you could sell one Ripple for $1.30. And the transfer fees, gas fees for Ethereum or whatever you want to call it. I mean, for Ethereum, they call the transfer fees gas, but Ripple, I don't know if Ripple uses that term. But anyway, the transfer fees for Ripple are quite cheap because one of the points of Ripple is to make sending money easier between countries. So let's say may OFW ka sa Saudi, magpapadala ka ng pera, instead of paying a service like Mlulier or something like that, you can convert it to Ripple, send it to whoever, and the transfer fees are much cheaper. That's one of the points of Ripple. And that they still do that quite well. Even now, the transfer fees for Ripple are very good. Dennis from Facebook, are you open tomorrow? No, we are not. Sorry, it is a holiday, so the shop is closed. We will be still be taking online orders, but like they'll only be sent out the next day, Wednesday. So we are closed tomorrow. Yep. Let me just scroll through the chat a little bit. ITX Addicts, Jerome Diaz, bye bye bye. I am inclined to bye bye bye, but yeah, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Hans, you think so? The background is okay? I'm really, because I only use a camera to shoot, and so I'm not sure how well it'll turn out later when it's more up close, and then I have the light that's here now on me. Like I do want like a greater ano. But in fairness, I like what's going on right now with this light. Like a little of my face is in shadow, and I have more light here. So actually, this looks quite okay, except that the background is very cluttered, and you see a lot of stuff that I don't want to be seen on camera, like my living room and stuff. So I do want to get the camera will be closer to me later on when I shoot when I try to start shooting videos here. Then you should only see like the first 6 cubes there. So and maybe like the Tintin and stuff like that. So, but I love this light. It's hard to tell now. I know it's super pixelated. Sorry guys, my internet's not so good. But the the original source, like I'm looking at it now. I love how like this my face is in shadow here, and then a bit of light here because I don't know anything about camera and lighting and things like that. I am not a camera person. I'm more of like a PC kind of guy. So I've had a very slowly learning all of these things as I try to make the YouTube channel better. And yeah, I really like this light now with the big Amaran light here with the softbox, and then I have some T5 lights here as well, so they provide nice glow on my face. But as I say these things, I'm cringing inside. Bitch kadiri to like like yo, I have to consider lighting now, and like, oh, I love how my face looks, etc. It's like, oh, it's very unnatural for me. But this is the kind of light sana that I want to get on the video. We'll see about that. Joseph, what mouse does Anton, the Superior Hardware Sugar host, use? Actually, I prefer. I think I mean, my videos naman are good, but in some aspects, I do actually prefer like my brother's videos or Rocky the Programmers or Jay's. I think all of the hosts bring something unique to the job, and I actually think my videos are kind of rushed. Rafael really puts a lot more planning into the videos than I do, to be honest. But kasi to be fair, like sometimes I do a lot. I put a lot of effort into the videos, planning and stuff like that, and they don't do well. And then the videos that I'm like medyo like yeah, f it, and I just kind of wing it. Like, but I always have an outline in mind. I never have a script, but I always have an outline, and I just kind of like blah 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 blah. And those are the videos, but that do well. So parang the lesson I'm drawing from this is don't overthink it and just shoot the damn video. So the other hosts actually do prepare much more than myself. The mouse I'm using is a wireless mouse. I always use a wireless mouse, and it's very classic Logitech G602. But it's good, or it's kind of fitting that you ask because the left mouse button is starting to die on me. It's starting to double click or it's starting not to hold the click. You know, when you hold the click because you need to drag something, and then suddenly naiiwan yung na drag mo on screen kasi nabitawan na nung click even though you're still clicking it. So I will need to replace this guy soon. But I always go wireless because I hate the tug of the cord on the mouse. I know it might be psychological because some of them are quite light, but I dislike the cord tug. You're pulling it and you feel like you also have to manhandle the cord. So I always get wireless. This is the Logitech G602. But I am considering buying a new mouse now kasi yun nga parang the clickers going. Although we did have somebody recommend a local. I understand that the switches of mice now can be replaced, not from the brand, but you can find somebody online who can do it. Somebody recommended it to me a while back, and I've never had a chance to use them, but I might try them out now, just to repair my mouse, just to see, like, kamusta ba yung quality. I think one of our YouTube top fans recommended it, if I remember correctly. All right, so just to get all right, right. I'm gonna get through the chat, guys, and then I'll get through the news. Ross Joe, pa-help naman po, pwede bang gamitin pang activate ng Windows 10 yung o gawing bagong product key yung naka-save sa reg edit na backup. I would not recommend messing around with reg edit, especially just to activate Windows. Just buy a key. You really don't want to be mucking around with reg edit. It could mess up a lot of things, and basically cost benefit analysis. Yes, you can get a CD key from our sponsor. The links are in the video description. You can get cheaper, to be honest, from other places. But generally, it's easier to get a CD key than to monkey around with the reg edit. So I wouldn't do that just to save like 300 pesos. I've seen that the cheapest I've seen on Laz is around 300 pesos for a CD key. Although I don't know if those are reliable, so you might be just throwing your 300 pesos away. What I like about our sponsor, and yes, of course I'm biased, they do sponsor us, but I am biased because I also have experience with them. We buy a lot. All of the CD keys that we use in the shop are from our sponsor, and I also use them for my personal use. So, paminsan may palpak naman, but mabilis yung customer service nila. You tell them that, oh, the key's not working, and they'll replace it right away. So, I can really say from personal experience na okay yung customer, yung sponsor. And you should invested Hans in Ripple because of their practical use. Yes. Oh, by Japanese banks. No, I'm curious why you're getting remittances from Japan. Zorpi, what's the best way to buy BTC here in the Philippines? Good question. We've touched on it a bit before in the previous streams, but the easiest way, sorry, was the best. Okay, well, there's the easy, there's the easy, and there's the best. The easiest way would be to use one of the local exchanges, such as PDAX or Coins Pro, both of which I use, or Bloom. Bloom is still in beta, but I'm also on their exchange. You can buy local You can also use buy local bitcoins, which is a P2P service naman, di siya exchange. Basically, it links up the seller and the buyer, but it holds the crypto in escrow, so that in case medyo coops yung buyer and ayaw niya i-release yung crypto even though nakabayad ka na, the service will do that for you once you can prove that yes, you did indeed transfer money, you did indeed pay for your purchase of crypto. So may safety ka naman doon. That is the easiest way, but for me the best way, and I've talked about this, is just to use a foreign exchange. I use Kraken because the prices of the exchanges here are more expensive compared to how much you can buy it for on in foreign exchanges. You can use Binance, or some people pronounce it Binance. I noticed, like, my generation, we call it Binance, but I noticed the kids these days call it Binance. Kind of like Dota. I call it Dota, but like short O, Dota. But I noticed the kids these days use Dota, like medyo social sila na long O. But yes, you can use Binance now. Actually, Binance is very user friendly. I don't use it. I've never um I've never, yeah, I don't have an account with Binance, so I don't have any personal experience with it. But I know a lot of people who are new use Binance, and it is available here locally. And I think you can even use your credit card to buy crypto from Binance. So it's very convenient. Pinoys can use it. They do accept Filipino users. So that might be something you might want to try out as well. But sorry. Uh, okay, okay. Let me just na-throw off ako nung ano eh. Stop Bitoy Kongko from Facebook. Um, ITX Addict was recommending most straightforward. Which service ITX Addict? Uh, Sorry, I can't find the exact post, but ITX Addict was saying something the most straightforward, but I can't see which service he was referring to. Oh, I know Coins Pro or Coins, you can load from 7-Eleven. At least before, usually because I use Gcash now. Hans, your light is good. You can probably cover your glass door with a curtain. Yeah, you think I should just, like this whole space? Kind of big eh. Like I wanted medyo up close so mas kita yung like the tie interceptor and things like that. But I really liking the light on my face. Like itong parang dark konti, but then the other side is shaded because of the Amaran. So I'll think about it. Monica, I started mining ETH last month. Oh, congrats. Problem is hindi pa ako maka-cash out until now. Anong wallets ang gamit mo? Cash out crypto. Ah, like okay, okay, fine. I'm gonna like the current wallet I use because the shop does accept Bitcoin, and the current wallet I use to where the money goes to is Electrum. I think it also accepts Ethereum, but you'd have to check. But like I was hesitant to answer this question because I'm gonna admit something online which is kind of stupid to admit. But anyway, I don't have I don't have a local wallet. Like in the sense that it's saved on your computer, saved locally, because all of my crypto is saved with my exchange. All of my crypto are in my various exchanges. So my wallets are tied to the exchange, and that's kind of dumb to admit because really the most secure wallet is it's local, so it's on your computer, and it's a cold wallet, meaning it's on a computer that is not connected to the internet or naka USB. So pagtanggal mo ng USB, there's no way that a hacker or anyone can access that USB without physically plugging it in. So that is the most secure way to store your crypto. I feel kind of sheepish about admitting it online that I don't have a local wallet. I mean, I do, but I just use it for purchases from the shop. That people who buy crypto who use crypto to buy from us from the shop. But I have them, and also the problem with having wallets or keeping most of your crypto in exchanges is exchanges get hacked all the time. That's a reality. That's just how it goes. Crypto is still the wild west with crypto. If the exchange gets hacked, you're effed up, man. You're up shit creek without a paddle. You're screwed. There's no way you're gonna recover that money if your exchange gets hacked. So these are the multiple reasons why I feel kind of foolish for admitting I don't have a local wallet. But because I really have my crypto pang exchange talaga. Like I need the crypto in the exchange so that I can buy and sell, which is so that's why I have it on why the majority of my crypto is in my wallets which are with the exchanges. And which is why I use Kraken, which is super paranoid about security. First of all, they use 2FA. I use 2FA for my Kraken wallet, meaning that you need to have the email that I used to log on, my password, and the 2FA or the random password which I generate from my phone. So yes, I can be the possible weakest link in the sense that if my phone gets stolen and or someone gets a hold of my phone and then logs on to my account, that could be one way where my crypto can be lost, or if Kraken is hacked. But on my end, I do tend to be a bit paranoid, like with my phone and like who has access to my 2FA, because I do know that bad shit can happen if people like if I suddenly lost my phone or things like that. So I do try to be conscious on my end about that. And Kraken as an exchange is very, very paranoid about security. Marvin, who you've met in our other stream, in our other regular stream, pwede magtanong, told me that Kraken is really very strict with their employees regarding hacking, and I don't know if they've ever been hacked, but at least there's never been a serious hack of Kraken. Like, kasi some exchanges you hear that they're cracked in like 10,000 accounts, 20,000 accounts, or like 500,000, $1 million worth of Bitcoin was lost from the exchange. You never hear that from Kraken. They've been around a long time and they do take security very seriously. So, which is why I'm a little. So it's a mixture of both practicality and campante. Practicality because I need to have access to my crypto right away so I can trade them, and practical. So that's a practical side, and campante because I am confident a little bit in Kraken and in my own infosec, precautions and things like that. So, all right, I gotta get through. I gotta get through my topics because I told myself like this wouldn't be a long stream because actually I have to get back to my daughter in the background. I if I remember when we last did Pwede Magtanong, people were asking. I was already streaming again from my house, and people were asking me like, I can hear a girl in the background. I think that was my daughter screaming, because I was taking too long. So I told myself this wouldn't be such a long stream. So I'll get to the chat, guys, but I'll get through the assigned topics first. Um, so there's a lot of the reasons why crypto is down, and it is quite down, like around 60. Yeah, the all-time high of Bitcoin was around 67,000, 68,000. Now currently today it's at around 57.1. Um, but a lot of it is external factors. So, and I find that kind of silly to say because it's always external factors naman, 'di ba? Whether Bitcoin goes up or goes down. But external factors in the sense that the currency itself is not under attack. Like there isn't like the US just hasn't suddenly come out with something saying we're banning crypto. Yes, there is some bit of the China blowback, but I think China's gone, man, and I think the crypto markets have already baked that into the price. So the last bit why markets are down, not just crypto but also stock exchanges worldwide, is the new Omicron variant. The best meme I've seen about this, it's a Unicron from Transformers the movie, the original 80s Transformers the movie. Love that movie. I've talked about it before also on the other streams, and it's Unicron but ibang kulay. Then he's like, ito talaga yung tunay na variant, and because in the movie it's like Unicron's the name, but the variant now is Omicron. But the markets are spooked because of Omicron. Israel has closed its borders. Japan, I think, is also closing its borders. Although there is some good news preliminarily, one of the doctors in South Africa that sounded the alarm that this sounds like a new variant. She reported, or she shared to Reuters, that so far because apparently the symptoms are different for Omicron, at least in these very initial stages. Hans, we need Rodimus Prime. Rodimus Prime was a punk, man. I mean, I can't believe, like, I was really like, I like Hot Rod. Hot Rod is okay as Hot Rod, but for him to take on a leadership position, I always complain, like, to my brother and to other Transformers fans, like, Rodimus Prime is a punk. I mean, I can't believe that they would take back. I mean, that he would replace Optimus Prime. He could never replace Optimus Prime in my book. But what a great movie! I mean, you got Optimus Prime's death. It's a 30-year-old movie, guys. Okay, if you didn't know that, I'm sorry for the spoiler, but that's like a big moment. But it's 30 years old, so you just watch the movie na lang. But when Optimus dies and then at the end he's replaced by Rodimus Prime, I'm just shaking my head like, you can't replace. You could never. You're a punk ass kid. I can't believe the I can't believe the Autobots would follow Rodimus Prime. Um, but it is a great movie. I mean, not to knock. That's just my personal opinion that, like, I found it very unrealistic, and just just because I grew up with Optimus Prime as the leader of the Autobots, and he'll always be Optimus. It's Optimus rather than Rodimus. But but yes. Um, Hans is saying, I wanted Magnus to lead. Right? I mean, Ultra Magnus was a decent choice. And he has that speech na, I'm just a common soldier. I'm not worthy to take on the Autobot matrix of leadership. And you can see how much of a geek I am that I can quote lines from memory from the Autobot movie. I'm not. I'm a soldier. I'm just a soldier. I'm not worthy. And then Optimus replies that, um, So was I when I received the Matrix, and then 'di ba parang and then he drops, and but I entrusted to you, old friend, parang ganon. Yeah, so um Ultra Magnus does have, yeah, 'di ba? Para mas bagay si Ultra Magnus, and that scene also where Ultra Magnus tries to be the leader and he tries to open the Matrix to light the darkest hour. Pero pala it's not the darkest hour yet. And damn, that scene also is very traumatic. Yeah, sige, I won't spoil it na lang. Ah. Yeah. Anyway, to backtrack, or to get back to the actual topic, Omicron, although the symptoms so far, as reported by one of the South African doctors who actually observed it, the symptoms are different, compared to the Delta variant. It's like you have extreme fatigue and you just rest. But so far, it's it's not as bad as the Delta. I don't know in terms of transmission rate, but in terms of symptoms and things like that. And a lot of the people reporting the Omicron variant were unvaccinated. I think, yeah, very preliminary backtracking of data shows that around 50%. So perhaps our vaccines are still good against Omicron. But again, this is all speculation. But yeah, Omicron has really battered the markets, crypto included. But with that said, so those are the three major things why crypto is down. And to be honest, I was really surprised because I thought that crypto was dropping. I thought, okay, good. Personally, I like it when crypto drops because it's another chance to it's a it's a yeah. Stop, Kaiser. I know, right? My wife was I was telling my wife, like, we were having dinner early so that I could stream and she could attend the meeting. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna have this stream is gonna be short. It's gonna go 30 minutes. I'm gonna start at 8:30. I'm gonna be done. She's like, you always say that, and then you end up going for like 2 hours. I'm like, no, today will be different because I don't have much to say. And like, here we are now talking about Transformers, and it's already 8:47. So I know, right? But so crypto really for me, I was surprised how far it dropped. To be honest, and again, I my foretelling, my reading the auguries of crypto has not been so good lately. I was happy when it dropped, but to be honest, I was quite surprised that it dropped to 55. The lowest Bitcoin dropped was around 55. Now it's bounced back up a bit about to 57, which brings us to really the sort of main topic aside from the news. So crypto is down. And I wanted to talk about like how can you time it so that you buy low. So now I think it's a good time to buy. But again, I could be wrong because I bought at the wrong time. I've used up most of my bala, or kumbaga I really had reserves. Like I know crypto is gonna drop. And I sold most of my holdings, my short-term holdings, because I was anticipating that it would drop. But around, when Bitcoin dropped to 60, I'm like 62, I'm like, okay, now's the time to buy. So ginamit ko na lahat. Like I used up all my money. Then pucha, it kept dropping some more. And like an altcoin that I really like, OMG, was at around OMG kasi ang ganda ng progress. Hindi siya yung like SOL that like super skyrockets or something. It's not like a Dogecoin, or it's not like SOL na parang sobrang bilis tumakyat, or like Shiba Inu, Shiba Coin. But it has very good performance over like 6 months, over 3 months. A very decent performance over a time frame that I think is realistic. Hindi kagaya kasi ng ibang mga meme coins. Ang hirap kasi sobrang akyat akyat bagsak nila. So I like OMG. I think it hit around $15. OMG. When it hit around 13, 12, I'm like, okay. So I poured a lot of money into OMG. And then pala it's at around 8 now. Ha! so so again, you really shouldn't be you should take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm not the best at foretelling crypto prices. But that's the main point I wanted to address is like how do you know when you should buy? Like me, I was anticipating a market drop. To be fair to me, so I got that right. I sold all of my short-term holdings. So I was holding dollars, waiting for the price to drop. But yung problema kasi sa akin with my trading strategy or with my personality is I always may pagka FOMO, and I understand a lot of investors are like this na bumagsak na nga and you think that must be the bottom already, that's the floor, and I'm gonna buy in now kasi I might miss out kasi aakit ulit yung prices. To be fair to me and to other investors, it's really hard to determine when it is. Kasi malay ko ba na magkaka-Omicron, di ba? Thanks, COVID. I didn't anticipate Omicron. But I really, like the Chinese thing, I thought na, medyo alam naman ng mga tao na China is really down on crypto and therefore, um, that kind of consideration would be baked already into the price. But when they really cracked down on that poor guy, I guess he must have been high ranking in the province. When they kind of cracked down on him, bumagsak yung price. I'm like, really, China? I mean, do we still care what China does with crypto? I mean, the exchanges and the mining have already moved out and a couple of months back, and we recovered already from that. So I was surprised also when that happened. So the main sort of talking point I wanted to address is that, which I have in the text description of the video, how to take advantage of large drops. So really the usual strategies are set money aside and do not touch it. Kumbaga break glass strategy. When like there's a fire extinguisher behind glass, the fire hose, and it's always like break in case of emergency. Yan yung break glass approach na hold the line. So let's say you have a higher amount, like 10,000 pesos, $10,000, whatever your reserves are for buying, and you just hold that amount, and don't get tempted like, oh, bumagsak 5%. Dede, hold the line. So really break glass lang in case of emergency. Wait until the prices really drop. So that's one strategy. Or number two is anticipate and plan accordingly in the sense that it will drop. And these are the technical guys. Like if you follow crypto or stock market analysis, they're always like these candle point thing. They have different names for. Basically, they're just looking at the charts and charts and it's like candle point or yardstick or some other things. Again, I don't use technical analysis to guide my buying decisions, but a lot of people do use it. And if you're able to market it right, it's always about support levels and like this is the bottom. So that really goes into question, like you don't need to hold the reserve. Kasi yung hold the reserve, break in case of emergency, it's like you're holding and holding until you're happy with the price. But if you do find a technical analysis that you think is legitimate and that makes sense, then you're only holding up to that point. Hindi ka lang like hoarding until you are comfortable at selling. It's really like holding just up to that price. Um, but my conclusion is number one, I've tried the hold and hold strategy, but I never know when to buy. I always pull the trigger too early. For these drops, iba kasi yung you should have a strategy when the market is going well, and it's possible to make good money on like 5% up and downs. The market is going well, but it fluctuates between a 5 to 10%, up and down. Okay pa yon. But when these price drops occur, and they do happen fairly regularly every couple of months with cryptocurrencies, and that's why I love crypto. It shoots up like a rocket and it drops like a rock. I mean, and so if you made a mistake that you bought too high, hold ka lang. If you're not in a leveraged position, you didn't long something or short something. Well, if you shorted something and it dropped, good for you, diba? You made money, you sell na. But if you're not in a leveraged position, it's okay. As long as you didn't buy like too high. Um, Aakit din yan. It's only paper losses. So that's why I like trading in crypto over stocks. Is that it's wild, man. But if you made a mistake, it's easy enough to recover. Just give it 6 months or so. Um, but I always tell myself every time these large drops, because they do happen fairly regularly, that I would be smarter next time and I will hold. God damn it! Don't get swayed by, oh, nag-drop na 10%. Oh, buy na. Um, it can always go lower. So that strategy of break in case of emergency hasn't worked out well for me kasi mahina talaga yung willpower ko. I do have FOMO, and I do anticipate, like, I try to be very clear-eyed about my investment strategies, which you should be, because, that's the only way you can improve. To be fair naman to me, I think I predict drops very well. I'm medyo conservative, and I do tend to think that um, the market will drop rather than go up. So in terms of predicting drops, my success rate has been not too shabby. I mean, pat on the back to myself. But where I am lacking in terms of investment strategy is knowing the floor at what to buy at. Is this a short drop or is this a drop? So that strategy of holding has not worked out well for me because I always break the glass prematurely. Uh, I could make like a dirty joke now, but it's only 9 o'clock. So, that's for those kind of jokes are meant for like 11 p.m. streams or things like that. Um, so to go on to the next strategy, which is to do a technical analysis and to get good on that technical analysis. And you don't need to be guessing anymore when to hold because your analysis tells you that, oh, okay, the floor is $56,000 per Bitcoin. And at that point, I will buy like crazy. I don't know how to do that, to be honest. I'm not a technical analysis kind of guy. I don't understand all of those candlesticks and those things. And I do have a, to be distracted again, I am holding a Tachikoma, which was a Christmas present from my good friend, Gizmo. And he will be part of the display in the back. I really do like this. I don't know where Gizmo got this, but sorry, I don't know if the picture quality is any better, but it's really parang die cast and ganda ng blue metal sheen on this guy. So Tachikoma from Ghost in the Shell. Kaiser, 11 p.m. stream went. Actually, I was thinking of doing an 11 p.m. stream now for Cryptowatch kasi holiday naman bukas. But I decided to do it 8 p.m. because I will be shooting later at night when my daughter goes to bed. She's still quite young. She's 1.5 years old. So but so my schedule has been upended. Like she has to go to sleep first, and that's the only time I have afterwards for YouTube and other things. So I'll be shooting with the new backdrop for the first time tonight. So I'll be shooting around 11 p.m. So that's why I decided to do the stream at an earlier hour. Um, so really not much for this episode of Crypto Watch. There are external factors which have caused the drop. Personally, am I afraid? No, I saw a chat message earlier asking kung ito na ba talaga to, hindi ba mag-recover yung crypto? But crypto will recover. Like I bet good money. I would bet good money and I have bet good money because I have bought into the market too damn early, as I've mentioned. But I am pretty sure that crypto will recover. Again, just look at, you don't even need to look too far. Like 6 months ago, June, the Bitcoin was at, or even July, even closer to November. July this year, Bitcoin was at 33,200 and now it's at 57.1. So already recovered from those steep drops of a couple of months ago. It hit an all-time high just early this month. So it hasn't even been a month yet. Prices are down, yes, but I'm pretty sure they'll recover. Will they recover within by the end of the year? It's possible. Again, I don't know. Um, but if Omicron doesn't turn out to be as bad as people are fearing, something that's completely out of our hands, right? I mean, the mutation is what it is. Whether Moderna, Pfizer, Astra are effective against it, and whether it is as transmissible as some of the other things, we have to see. So again, all of our hands. But if some good news comes our way, I bet the market will recover by the end of December because usually stocks do pick up at around end of December. Window dressing is what the stock traders call it. Although there is a lot of selling for stocks at least at the end of the year because portfolio managers want to end the year on a high note kasi mag-account na sila na year to date and parang annualized return for 2021. So they're willing to sell even at just a slight profit para lang they can say na maganda yung results sila at the end of the year. So there's a lot of selling at the end of the year. But I am fairly confident that it will recover. Crypto will recover. Prices were a bit high when things start hitting all time highs. I do get scared. Natatakot din ako. So it is good. This correction is good overall. Although I am a bit annoyed with myself because I bought too early. Because again, I'm a FOMO kind of guy. Like Like, oh my God, I think like if I don't buy now, then tataas and I'll have missed the boat, parang ganyan. So if you guys do have a different strategy for knowing when to buy at these big drops, do let me know. I think now is an excellent time to buy actually. Although again, don't take my word for it because I was telling one of my friends who asks me for advice, and this was like when Bitcoin was around 63 or something. I'm like, yeah, buy. I bought so many things. And pala bumagsak siya to like 55, eh, no? So and OMG now is at around 8.11, and I think I bought in at around $12. So that's a 25% drop. Let me check my spreadsheet. That's come clean. I bought OMG. Sorry, I bought OMG at 10, but I did buy it at 13 also. I have a position at 13 and at 10, and now it's at 8. Oh Jesus. So I am in the red. I am in the red if like I liquidated everything now for sure. But again, those are all just paper losses. I am quite confident in the long run that crypto will recover and I will make a nice profit. But I would have made a nicer profit if I had waited and bought in now. And that's, as an investor, I really think that's one of my weak points is that I do hoard cash well enough. Like I do know when to liquidate. But like when to get in on these big drops um is something that I do need to work on as a crypto trader. It's like a roller coaster. And like, pala, I think we're at the bottom already and we're just like one fourth pala way down the bottom. It's just paper loss stage, right? I mean, Kaiser, Ergobert, sup, Ergobert, spreadsheet reveal. Ayoko, mahiya ako. Dami ko talagang losses. Ergobert, actually, baka next Crypto Watch, I'll invite Ergobert to appear with me on this show. He has actually appeared with me on in the industry. But Ergo has a lot of interesting analysis of crypto. And Ergo is he's very familiar with the newer crypto. I'm kind of like an old guy and I like my I like the crypto that I understand. Ethereum, Bitcoin. I do have a lot of altcoins, but even they are these kind of like oldie altcoins like XRP, like ADA, like SOL I bought because of Ergo. Thank you, Ergo. OMG, I like a lot. But these are not the cutting edge cryptos because I'm kind of afraid of the cutting edge cryptos and the cutting edge NFTs. So maybe next episode, the December episode of Crypto Watch, maybe we'll have Ergo Bert on the show. Dot. Yes, Kaiser, I do have uh Polkadot. Do I have Polkadot? Let me check my spreadsheet. I do actually. I don't know. I do. Don't worry. Grabe yung position ko sa dot. I bought it so high. Sige, just to like just to let me go back to it. Let me turn on OBS. Let me shift to the browser. So I'm gonna reveal like what my position is on dot. So I do have it on my watch list because I do follow it. So again, the nice thing about Coin Codex, which is what I use to observe crypto prices, you can tell it what things to track. I mean, of course, most trackers do that already, but I like I do like Coin Codex. I'm familiar with it. Holy Jesus. Grabe. So dot is at 35.65 now, and I bought dot at drum roll. Sorry. I don't have I need to put sound effects. But I bought that at $53. Lord Almighty. I haven't checked this in a while actually. 'Cause I don't want to be sad. Thanks, Kaiser, for making me sad. Let me switch back to camera. My brother Rafael has actually given me a stream deck for Christmas, so I guess I can use it to configure all of these stream like scene changes and things. But Lord Almighty, I did not realize the dot dropped that much. It's around 35 now. I bought it at around 52. So that's almost a 50%. I mean not it's not 50% exactly, maybe like 40% or something. But that is kind of wild, man. I do feel bad now. But it is a paper loss. Um Atom. I buy Atom at. I haven't been tracking prices to be honest too much because yun nga bagsak naman sila and I've already spent all of my money. XRP not too bad. Atom also down, basically all down. Uh, ETC not too bad actually. it's already overbought kasi sobrang tumaas si ETC at around 55, 58. Now it's at 47. That's not too bad. Not a bad drop for ETC. Um, to be honest, there has been a lot of stuff going on in the shop, so I haven't been trading as much. I haven't been observing as much as I usually do, and also because I already spent all of my money. So I don't have any money left to give. Although I was able to sell. I bought Brave token. I bought Brave token a while back. And it hit BAT. I bought BAT a while back. BAT is at a very good price right now. Good price to sell. I mean, if you bought early, not a good price to buy at because it is the price of BAT is quite high now. But I bought BAT before. It was at 1 point. It's at 1.59 now, and I bought BAT at 1.07 and I sold it at 1.25. And again, that is my problem. Whenever I see a significant gain, so that was like a 17.55% gain. I thought okay na yan, let's sell it. Pero umakyat pa si Hayop to 1.60. It's basically at around 1.59 now. So I sold it at 1.25. Because yun nga, I'm more of a conservative kind of guy. When you make 17% in a bear market after 14 days. I bought that November 11 and I sold it November 15. 17 or so percent after 14 days is very good, especially in a bear market. I didn't think it would go higher, obviously, so I sold it. And it did go much higher, obviously. So the obvious conclusion you should draw from this is that you should not listen to me for crypto advice. um, but yeah, but if you do have BAT and you bought it early, now would be a good time to sell. Yep. So again, just my thoughts on where the market is right now. Perhaps some reasons why the drop. Would I buy now if I had money? Yes, I do. Why aren't I buying? Because I already bought at higher prices because I'm an idiot. But again, again, to be fair to me and to other traders, hindsight is always 2020, right? I mean, it's always easy to say that, oh yeah, parang I should have held out, or I should have done this or that. But when you're in the heat of the moment, and that's why I always encourage people, like, you want to trade, just do it. Just experiment. Just keep tracking the prices. Kasi you just have to get a feel for it, and you really have to get money in the game. Dip your toes in the water. Because it's always a learning experience. And what I like about crypto, guys, as long as you don't go nuts, don't bet the farm, don't bet your house, don't bet your life savings, don't bet the college education of your kid. But you do have some money for investment, set it aside, and um um play around with that. But whatever you decide to put into it, be sure that you're okay with losing it, with getting a lot of losses. But again, these are paper losses. Crypto will recover. Um, you might have seen in the background that somebody is waiting for me. I do need to go. Shout out, John from Facebook. This was at 8:30, so I don't know if you're still waiting. Um, I mean, if you're still watching, but shout out. ITX Addict, thanks for the suggestion on the mouse. I might do that, or I might send it to that service. I think it was John Ocha, the Ochi, who recommended it. So that service that repairs mice that can change the switches. Okay, sorry guys. I know there's a lot. There was a lot of chats that I can't reply to because my daughter, I can hear her already complaining in the background. So thanks so much for watching. I do hope that this new backdrop works out well. But it looks good, right? I mean, like the camera will be clearer, like hopefully, and hopefully I'll get better light. But I love this light. We'll have pwede magtanong this Friday, so this will also be my setup. So yeah, love this the Amaran here, and the T5 lights here. My face is like half, I know, the moody dark. But this actually looks quite good. Um, but yeah, it's too much. Like, hindi maganda kasi yung maganda yung lighting, pero hindi maganda yung backdrop. Like you have my wife's clean canteen on the thing, and yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna figure out like how to make it better. Ooh, Tezos is up 10%. Too bad I don't have any more money. But yeah, thanks so much. Nice to see the regulars, guys. Hans, Kaiser, of course, ITX Addict, Giro Alvarez. Parang your name sounds familiar. Kenichi C, thanks for watching. I do recognize your name from the comments, or from the YouTube stuff. Good night, guys. Have a good break tomorrow. Hardware Sugar is closed. The shop. You can still online order, but it'll get sent out Wednesday. We have hired a new tech who'll start on December 1. So there'll now be two tech guys in the shop all the time. We do diagnostics now. Now's a good time to buy or to do builds because we're not too busy actually. There's sort of been a lull in the orders and stuff, so not too busy. Um, our new location is not this location. The one on the graphic is wrong. I'll need to have our graphics designer change that. um, Always something with the stream, but yeah. Thanks for watching. If you're into crypto, and you have bought early, too early like me, hang in there. Um, prices will rise again. We will rise again. I have faith. And if you haven't bought yet, you are thinking of it, I do recommend buying. Prices are so good right now. Don't buy BAT. BAT is overbought. Don't buy ETC. I think that um, it hasn't dropped compared to other things like even Axie hasn't dropped that much. XRP hasn't dropped that much. Although I have seen XRP at around 1.2, it's around slightly less than $1 now. But if you don't know what to buy, I would buy BTC. Basically, can't go wrong with those guys. ETH actually hasn't dropped that much. 4.8 is around 4.3 now. Bitcoin is the one. Bitcoin is at a good price now. SOL actually, I bought it at around 180. I still have profit now. It's around 205. Thanks again, Ergo. If you're watching, it was Ergo who told me to who told me to buy. Yes, and I see the message from Hans. Yes, I should go to my daughter. Thanks so much for watching. And again, as Kaiser mentioned, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. I'm not telling you to do anything, but this is what I would do if I still had money, but I don't.